Hello, jeweler, and welcome to the Proof of Concept module. In this module, we're going to be talking about something that we have already talked about up to this point, but this is probably one of the most important modules in this entire workshop. If you go through this and all you get is the understanding idea of what a proof of concept is, from there, you will be able to go out and multiply your business significantly. All the other things on top of proof of concept are tactics to allow you to get from proof of concept to more clients, but we're going to talk about exactly what I mean by that, and you'll start to understand why it's so important. So first, we're going to talk about what is a proof of concept and why is it absolutely necessary to have one. Number two is developing and amplifying your proof of concept. And number three is market dominance. So first, what is a proof of concept and why is it absolutely necessary to have one? So imagine that you get a pain in your side. Now, after going to the doctor, they accurately diagnose you and they have to remove your appendix very soon. From the operating room, you hear down the hall someone is rushing into work. A young man steps in the room, greets you with a smile, and says, "So what are we doing today?" You tell him, "I need my appendix taken out," and a look of fear comes over his face. Immediately, he lifts up his phone and asks Siri, "How do I remove an appendix?" How do you feel? All right, how about scenario two? From the operating room, you hear a nurse greeting a doctor saying, "Morning, Steve. Looks like another appendix." And he replies, "Well, that is why you called me, right?" A man in his 50s comes in with a calm smile and says, "Hey, I know this can be a scary situation. Almost all of my patients feel that way before the procedure, and it's normal." You ask, "All of your patients?" And he says, "Yes, I've been doing this for more than 20 years and have taken out thousands of appendixes. There's nothing I haven't seen. Your situation is completely normal and easy in and out, and you'll be able to leave sooner than expected." How do you feel? Compare those two scenarios in your head. In the first one, there's a rushed doctor. He hears about your situation, and his first reaction is fear. And he even goes and consults the internet to figure out what he's supposed to do. Whereas in the second scenario, there's an older gentleman who is calm, collected, and says he has done this thousands of times before, that your situation is like all of the other ones. It's very normal, and that you will actually be able to get out sooner than expected. Which one would make you feel more comfortable? This is Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is the owner, the runner of the world's largest hedge fund. That hedge fund is called Bridgewater, and he is also the author of a book called Principles. I would highly recommend reading Principles. And in that book, he talks about something called believability weighting. Now, believability weighting is a way in which Ray Dalio and his employees make decisions about what to invest in or who to trust. The entire book, Principles, deals with principles that you live your life by and principles that you should do business by. And so in believability weighting, he talks about what should you do to make good decisions. And you should make decisions based off of a person's perceived believability. So the more times someone has done something successfully, the more believable they are. And before anyone should be considered believable, he or she must do that thing successfully at least 3 times. And I want that to be a clear statement in your head. Before anyone should be considered believable, he or she must do that thing successfully at least 3 times. So if you look back to our fun scenario with the appendix being taken out, in the first situation, the doctor was uneasy about the situation. He didn't know what he was doing. He even had to consult the internet. Whereas in the second one, he had done it thousands of times. That doctor had taken out thousands of appendixes. And so for him, well, he was very believable. He's the kind of person that you could say, I trust him. I trust his decisions. I trust what he's going to do. The more times you do something successfully, the more believability you have. And each time that you help a prospect get from where they are to where they want to be, that is a proof of concept. So every single time that you do what you say you're going to do, that is a proof of concept. And the more times that you have these proofs of concept, the more believable you are going to be. So now we're going to go into the proof of concept worksheet. Here we are at the proof of concept worksheet. Now the proof of concept worksheet helps you focus on what's truly important in business, and that is results. The most important thing about your product or your service is its performance, what using or receiving the product or service does. And this document will help you to develop and amplify your proof of concept as you build one. So this is going to help you to develop believability with your clients, with your prospects. People will find you more believable if you go through this worksheet and you go through this module and you do everything that we teach you to do. People will have a much easier time saying yes to you, and not only that, but you will be chosen to do the thing that you have proven you are great at. So the instructions are proof of concept amplification, number 1. So this is if you already have a proof of concept, meaning if you've already done something. So we talked about your perfect offer, and we talked about what that offer is. So what is the offer that you want to bring to your ideal client? If you've already gone through the perfect offer worksheet, then you are able to work on this one. And so if you have a perfect offer, and that perfect offer is something that you've already done before, and you've already done 3 times, then proof of concept amplification will be where you start. Now, however, if you figured out that your perfect offer is something that you have not yet done and you still need to figure it out, then what we are going to work on with you is the pre-market proof of concept hypothesis. And also, in case you have an idea of another perfect offer that would work great for your clients, then the pre-market proof of concept hypothesis will also work for you. So if you want to expand your offerings, you want to offer more than one thing, or you want to expand into a different market, then the pre-market proof of concept hypothesis will work for you. And then number 3 will be the live market feedback. So just as we have loops and we have systems for everything that give feedback for how it is that we treat the inputs and the processes and the outputs, in the same way, the proof of concept also gets feedback, and we reiterate our value offering based off of the feedback that we get. So let's start with number 1, the proof of concept amplification. Write down as many success stories of people working with you in the area you're going into from the marketplace. How many success stories do you have where you took your perfect offer and it got your client from where they were to where they wanted to be? As many as you can possibly think of is better here. So go through your lists. You can go through your old point of sales. You can go through old clients in your head. Likely you'll be able to think of 3 to 10 clients that you have done this transformation for in the past, whether it's an engagement ring, upgrading a diamond from an old engagement ring for somebody who's in their 50s or 60s, if it is giving someone the bracelet of their dreams, anything like that. If it is doing a recurring box of jewelry every single month and someone has been really happy with it, whatever it is, write down as many success stories of people that you've worked with You've given them this perfect offer, and it's got them from where they are to where they want to be. Then number 2, write down the benefit that accrued to that person's life directly or indirectly because they chose to work with you. This is really important. If you remember back to the perfect offer worksheet, remember what we are selling people is not products or services. Our product or our service is what we do, but the offer is the transformation that happens in the person's life because they choose to do business with us. So that transformation, the benefit that accrued in their life, what was it that happened? Write down that benefit that accrued to that person's life directly or indirectly because they chose to work with you. Number 3, write down in your opinion what would have happened had they not chosen to work with you. So we always need to be aware of what will happen if someone doesn't work with us and the pain of not working with us, the pain of choosing to forego our perfect offer. By understanding this, we are able to really accurately hit someone's pain points and also help them to understand what they're losing out on by not working with us. So, in your opinion, what would have actually happened if they hadn't chosen to work with you? In the case of many jewelers, they would have chosen to work with a large multinational brand who would have ripped them off and not have given them very good service. But in your particular field, it might be something different. So, what would have happened to them if they had chosen not to work with you? Number 4, look at the difference between them, between the benefit that they accrued and the negative outcome of not working with you, and ask the question, what would it have cost that person to not have the benefits of the work you did together? So, what would they have done if they hadn't worked with you? And now, what would it have cost them to not have the benefits of having worked with you versus working with someone else or doing something else? What would it have cost that person? And now I want you to collect every success story supporting your transformative offer up to date or obtain from your clients. You can do this via video or Skype calls, written on LinkedIn, Facebook wall, Messenger, Google reviews, written in emails, etc. Something that someone has texted you or anything that you have that can actually be used as a review of this transformation having happened. Every single success story. This is going to take a little bit of time, but it will be absolutely necessary. If you have Google reviews or you have Yelp reviews or something like that, and there are a couple that are just really, really good, then those are ones that you want to focus on. But remember, these are reviews for the actual transformation that you are seeking to make in the life of your ideal client. This is as it pertains to your perfect offer. But we want you to collect every success story. So that was if you've already done the offer that you're seeking to bring to the marketplace. If you've already given this perfect offer before, then you're simply seeking to gather proof of concepts to increase your believability, then that is where that is what you need to do. And then I'll show you what to do with that later on when it gets to actually creating when it comes to actually creating the 6 roads to trust in your marketing, showing them off on your website and in your funnels, and how we'll use them. Now, this is your pre-market proof of concept hypothesis. So this perfect offer is something that you haven't yet proven. This isn't something that is absolutely proven that your clients want from you. This is your hypothesis because you know what their pain points are, and you believe that this is what is going to solve their problems. So, what version number is this perfect offer? If it's number 1, number 2, remember, we're always reiterating our perfect offer because we want it to hit the pain point exactly of our ideal client. So, what number is this? This could be the first one. This could be the 5th one. If you have reiterated your perfect offer and you've made it better and better for your clients because you've tried it over and over again. So what version is this? Now, how certain are you of your target niche market on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being totally uncertain and 10 being absolutely certain? So, how certain are you in terms of this being the perfect niche market for this offer? How painful is the current situation of the niche market from their point of view on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not painful at all to 10 being excruciating pain? How urgent is the desire for the niche market to achieve their desired situation on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being no desire to 10 being extreme desire? And how complex is it to offer the solution that you're currently offering on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being extremely complex to 10 being simple? And how possible do you think it is to truly achieve the desired situation of the niche market on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not possible at all to 10 being more than possible? And we want this to be realistic. We're not offering people lies, we're not manipulating them at all. We do want to be realistic about the desired situation and whether or not we can actually bring them there. Do you believe this will work when you commit 100% to marketing this perfect offer to your niche market? Yes or no? And now we have live market feedback. So this is going to be very important once you have established a perfect offer and you have a few proof of concepts. This is where we start to get feedback from our audience. We start to talk to them, and we start to hear from them about what they think about it, so that we can reiterate and we can make things better and better. And in doing so, we will get more clients who love working with us. We'll be able to charge more money, and we'll also be able to work less because we know what we're doing. So I want you to start crossing off these numbers as you start speaking with your niche market and testing your hypothesis by making them the offer stated in this proof of concept worksheet. You should make at least 30 offers before judging your perfect offer. So if it gets all the way down to an appointment, or it gets all the way down to actually having a conversation with someone, then I want you to cross that off. Cross off number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Because what happens a lot of times is people think, oh, this is a bad idea, it's not going to work because I just don't see any results happening right now. But they've only had one conversation. So they asked one person, hey, do you think that this offer is a good offer? And then that person says, no, probably not. And then all of a sudden they believe, well, this is a bad offer, I'm not going to do this anymore. Which is a logical fallacy. Instead of applying one person's opinion to everybody, get at least 30 opinions of people in your target niche. And by doing that, you're actually able to get a good idea of whether or not they find this desirable. So we can do this through paid methods, we can do this through time methods, but we need to have conversations with people, and we need to see, are they going to buy this or are they not going to buy this? Or are they buying this or are they not buying this? And the more times you do this, the more sure you'll be that either A, your perfect offer is not so perfect, or B, your perfect offer is pretty awesome. And what could happen is you get through 10 or 15 of these, and you have 15 conversations, and every single one of them says no, but then number 16 says yes. Or you get through 29, and then 30 says yes. Or you get through 3 yeses, and you think that everybody in your niche is going to love this, and then numbers 4 through 30 are all no's. And so the more data we have, the better. And this is how you're able to know whether or not people are actually going to respond positively to your perfect offer. Now, what objections is the market giving you? Once you've had these conversations, what are they giving you? It could be price, it could be timeline, it could be all kinds of things. It could be, I'm not interested. What objections are they actually giving you? This you're going to use to reiterate your perfect offer and to make it more irresistible to your target niche. What things is the market liking or interested in about your offer? Oftentimes, as we do this, we find that people are actually interested in things that we didn't know they would be interested in. So we find out that people are actually really interested in the fact that we can offer insurance, and we didn't know that that was something that would actually attract them. Or we find out that people are really interested in the fact that they can choose multiple colors of gold and they can do dual tone on their rings. And well, we didn't think that that was going to be such a big selling point, but it happened to be. Or we didn't know that people would be really, really interested in having payment plans. But all of a sudden, as soon as we offered payment plans, next thing we know, everyone wants to start buying from us because it's more easy and convenient for them. So what things is the market liking or interested in about your perfect offer? And how are the conversations ending, or what is the conclusion of each call or outreach method? So when you have conversations with your clients, when you've gotten them and you've had appointments with them or you've reached out to them, how are the conversations ending? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it I'd like to see more? Is it I have no interest whatsoever? What patterns are emerging as you're talking to your niche market? What things keep recurring? What do people keep on saying? What do you keep hearing over and over again? It's very good to write these things down because we do often forget. Now, based on the above, how can you improve your perfect offer? So take everything that you've just written down about how it is that your niche market is responding, and then write down how it is that you are able to improve your perfect offer to make it more in line with what they truly desire. And now, after making at least 30 offers to your niche market with this perfect offer, collect all the feedback, form ideas for improvement, and then move on to form your next perfect offer and repeat this again. This is how you end up being on top. When you do this over and over again, you figure out exactly what your niche likes and what will drive them to buy, what it is that is solving their problems, what they like about you, what they don't like about other people. And by doing this over and over again, you solidify your offer and your proof of concept to be exactly what your niche market is looking for. Without doing this, then you end up trying a lot of different things and you're not sure what's working and what's not working, and you never are on top of your market. And whoever else is doing this ends up beating you out and getting your clients. Now we've gone through the proof of concept worksheet, and remember, you need to go through that. You need to have examples of your proof of concept, of your perfect offer working for your niche market, who it is that you're actually trying to reach out to, and getting their feedback. And if you haven't done that yet, then make sure you do. And also, if you haven't done the audience worksheet or the perfect offer worksheet, then you cannot move forward with the proof of concept worksheet. You will not be able to start marketing at all until you understand the perfect offer, your audience, and whether or not you have a proof of concept that is actually going to be desirable by your niche market. And now we're going to talk about market dominance. One thing that often eludes a lot of people, especially jewelers, is that they need to be believable before people are going to start doing business with them for their certain offer that they want to offer. Remember, we make decisions based off of a person's perceived believability. And the more times that someone has done something successfully, the more believable they are. So how many times have you done what you are seeking to show to your niche market? What is it that you desire to do for them? What work do you love doing? And how many times have you done that before successfully? And before anyone should consider you believable that you actually can do this, you should have done it successfully at least 3 times. Have you done it successfully at least 3 times? If not, then what can you do to make sure that that does get done? Once you do have 3 solid proof of concepts, from there, it's much easier to get people to believe that you are able to provide the service or you're able to provide the transformation that people are truly seeking. And the more proof you have, the more your ideal clients will see you as their obvious choice. This here is Green Lake Jewelry. They exist in Seattle. They're not far away from me. And I want you to take believability weighting into their media. So Green Lake Jewelry, if you look at their social media, what can you see? What do they specialize in? What do they do? They do custom engagement ring design. And I've been to Green Lake Jewelry before. I've talked with they have someone there who's in charge of doing their social media and their videos, and so I've been able to have conversations with them. They have one of the most beautiful showrooms I've ever seen. Now, take into account believability weighting now. People make decisions based off of a person's perceived believability. And the more times that someone or a business has done something successfully, the more believable they are. Green Lake Jewelry, if you go to their Instagram or you go to their website, Green Lake Jewelry has hundreds of client testimonials and thousands. Here, when this was taken, it was 2,754 posts about custom engagement rings. Because of that, for custom engagement rings in the city of Seattle, they are the obvious choice right now to an outsider. There's no comparison. Green Lake Jewelry does an incredible amount of work, and for good reason. If you look at their social media, you look at their website, it makes sense why they're able to employ more than 30 custom designers, highly skilled custom designers. See, what Green Lake Jewelry knows or understands is believability weighting. They know that the more proof of concept they have, the more they are able to prove that they can get someone from where they are to where they want to be, the more people are going to trust them to do that again and again and again. Green Lake Jewelry has market dominance over custom designed engagement rings. They have achieved market dominance. We create magnitude marketing when we optimize scalability and profitability. And profitability, remember, if you try and catch 2 rabbits at once, then you end up catching neither. But if you apply focus, then you're able to reach your end goal much, much more quickly. And what happens when you are the king or the queen, meaning that you have the best funnel, people are totally sure that you are their obvious choice for a particular perfect offer? Well, people chase you instead of you chasing them. And generalist businesses are no longer your competition, and their customers end up coming to you. Customers line up to work with you at your price point, and you can decide when you work and with whom. And you can explore new income options, freeing your time while having an audience that loves to buy all that you offer. This is market dominance. By understanding how believability works, and by putting your proof of concept in a place and in a way that people find compelling, you achieve market dominance. And we achieve market dominance by solving our prospects' problems better than anyone else, more times than anyone else. And that is why Green Lake has been so successful at this. And that's how you can also be really successful at this. Now, Green Lake is obviously only an example, and it doesn't have to be the same way with your store. You might not do custom engagement rings, but they have achieved market dominance because of their incredible amount of proof of concept. And I want you to think about, how are people thinking about doing business with you? And are you proving to them that you are believable in making the transformation in their lives that you're saying that you can make? If you talk about the transformation being one thing, but your website, social media, or everything else says something else or is very confusing, they're not going to believe that you can actually do it. So how would your business look if you achieved market dominance? If you were the best in your niche, in your area, how would your business look? What would you do differently? How would your life look? How would it affect your life if you had customers lining up to work with you at your price point and you could decide who you work with and when you work with them? And people were willing to save money in order to meet you at your price point. How would it look to have no competition because you have so much proof of concept that no one else would even think about working with anybody else? How would your business look? How would your life look if you achieved market dominance? And now, remember, go back to the proof of concept worksheet. If you haven't gone through that before, then do go through it. And one last thing I want to say before we end this is this. No one is going to assume that you can do something that you haven't shown them. I just want to say that one more time. Nobody will believe that you can do what you have not shown them. And also, people are not going to... And also, people will only ask you to do what you've shown them you can do. If your proof of concept is repairs, 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 nobody is going to ask you to do custom engagement rings. If all you show is one thing, nobody is going to ask you to do something else because they won't believe that you can do that and you're not showing them that you can. What you need to do is show off the perfect offer that you are trying to show off. If you're only showing other things, or you're predominantly showing other things, then people will not believe that you can make the transformation in their life that you are claiming that you can. This is why the proof of concept is so important. It defines what people ask of you. No one is going to do business with you for your perfect offer unless you show them that you can do that. So make sure you go through the proof of concept worksheet. And that was proof of concept. I hope that you've learned something. And if you have any questions or concerns, then feel free to reach out to us and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.